In the last video, we added the functionality or the code to display the map for this business. But you can see that this code is right here on the scripts.js, and this code is static. There is no way that our client can come here and change these values unless they know some JavaScript. And we're gonna create some options in the option page that we created earlier. If you remember, in La Pizzeria options, we have the La Pizzeria options. And at the moment, this one is empty. And here on reservations, we have the reservations that the user submits from this form. So for example, I'm gonna click here. And if you remember, this La Pizzeria adjustments function is the one that will print content right here. If you remember, here on the add menu page, we pass La Pizzeria adjustments as the function that is going to be executed once we open the La Pizzeria option page. So just to make this clear, we're going to add an echo and hello from La Pizzeria adjustments, something like that. And let's save this and reload. So you can see we have hello from La Pizzeria adjustments right there. And we're going to close this PHP block because we're going to add some HTML right here. And for me, it's easier to write HTML and then use PHP, add the tags where I need. So first we're gonna add a div with the class wrap. This is a WordPress class that exists in the backend of WordPress. Then we add an h1 and we pass La Pizzeria adjustments. So you can save this and reload. You can see it's working. So next we're gonna create a form. We're gonna create some fields, and WordPress requires that they are added inside a form. We're gonna create a form, and the action is going to be the options.php. This is a file that exists in the WP admin folder that contains all the functionality to save the data that we submit into this form. Next, we're gonna create some options or settings, and we're gonna create a new function, and this one is going to be called La Pizzeria settings, and we're gonna hook this. We're gonna add action right here to the init, and we're gonna add the settings. So once WordPress starts, this is going to be hooked into the init or the initialization of WordPress. Then we use a function called register settings, setting in singular. This one takes two parameters. The first one is a group, and the second one is the field or the setting that you want to save. So for example, when I'm saying the setting that you want to save is this latitude is one setting, this one is another setting, the zoom is another. And if you remember, in the functions.php, we have the API key, and this one is another setting. They are all related to Google Maps, so that's the group. And you can call this whatever you want. In my opinion, or in my case, I'm going to use in La Pizzeria options Gmaps. So we have these Google Maps related settings in one group. Then you pass the name for a specific one. So in this case, we're going to be using the latitude, and I'm going to add La Pizzeria underscore Gmap latitude. And we're going to create 4 of these, one for each setting. In this case, at the moment, we're going to only create one. Then we're going to go back and finish this function. So next, we have the form, and we need to tell WordPress and this form that we're going to be using these settings right here. So we're going to add a PHP block again, and from here I'm going to call 2 different functions. The first one is settings fields, and this one takes the parameter of the group that you want to display. Then we have another one called do settings options, do settings sections, which takes the same parameter. So you are telling WordPress, hey WordPress, I'm gonna be using this group, La Pizzeria option page. At the moment, only we have one setting, but remember, we're gonna create 3 more in just a little. And this way WordPress will handle the submission to the database, save the data, and everything that it needs to be done before or when we click the submit button. So next we're gonna create an H2 and we're gonna add Google Maps. So using this H2, you can see that we have Google Maps right here. Then we can create the fields. So we're gonna add H2 and we're gonna create a table. We're gonna add a class called form table. And from here, I'm going to add a tr. It's going to have an attribute called top. And I'm gonna add a th. From here, I'm going to add a scope, row, and I'm gonna add latitude. Then we're gonna create a td for table data. And right here, I'm going to add an input. So I'm gonna add an input, type text, and the options can create, well, they can be, or they can use any input, any HTML input. In this case, it's going to be a text because we want to save this number. So next, we pass the name. And the name is always a good idea to use the same value that you have here. So for example, I'm going to copy this and paste right here. Then, if we save some data, we want to populate this form. So this input, I'm going to add a value. And remember that we have the escaping attributes. So we use attr to escape an attribute in an HTML. And the way that you return these values is using get option. We have saved the data at this point maybe. So we have the get option and you only pass this right here. So at the beginning it looks like a lot of code. One of the cool things about this is that a lot of things are the same. So for example, this and right here. Then we have the group and the group is right here and right here. So now you can save this and reload. And in my case, it has the number 1 because I have already made the example. But you can see that we have the latitude and we have the input. So you can type something here. But there is no button to submit the data. I'm going to scroll a little bit. And between the closing form and the closing table, we're going to create we're going to call a WordPress function called submit button. So save this again and reload. You can see I have number 1 and I'm going to change to number 2 and save changes. And now you can see that number 2 is being saved. So I can click here on reservations and La Pizzeria options. And you can see that the data is saved to the database. So now you can change to 1 again and everything is working correctly. So this way we can create multiple fields to save these numbers, this latitude, this longitude, this zoom, and the API key. In the next video, we're going to finish this, the creation of this form and registering the fields. So I'll see you in the next video.